Hi, everyone, and wanted to do this short recording for this week. We're actually going to carry forward with the case. The case that you tackled last week, the racist patient, is actually embedded into this article. So what I'm referring to is the article in your Blackboard site for week 5, addressing patient bias and discrimination against clinicians in diverse backgrounds. And one of the authors, Jane, also was a contributor for the case, the racist patient. And so the topic here is focusing on patient bias and discrimination affecting not just clinicians, but all healthcare professionals. Knowing that there is a duty for clinicians in particular to care for patients, but what happens when they encounter patients or families who exhibit bias, discrimination, or just frankly racist? And so this article, which I'd like you to be familiar with, now it's a long article, and we're going to actually talk about it in class and different components of it, really highlights a number of different things, including what types of behaviors, clinicians at all levels face demeaning behaviors by patients. Now, I'll tell you that it's almost hard to estimate, but almost all of you are going to be subject to this type of bias and discrimination. First of all, there's a heck of a lot more patients and families out there than there are healthcare professionals. And individuals come with everyone comes with biases as well. And also in a moment of vulnerability, in a moment of confusion, in a moment of really stress. However, so those, let's say, those settings can really exacerbate this. But then there are some patients and families who just exhibit their biases towards the healthcare professionals that are involved with them. Now, what this article focuses on is, first of all, understanding a variety of different things. First of all, the vast majority of healthcare professionals or individuals involved in healthcare are women. The vast majority of medical students who are going through their training to become physicians today are women. I think the numbers are almost 60%. Certainly, women outnumber men when it comes to most other clinical professions. Nursing, it's about 90-something%. Other professions, dental hygiene, it's closer to 95, 97%. But what we still have is about 45% of patient populations are men, and certainly that also includes families. So now, whereas we have wonderful patients, we've examined that word patient and what that means before in this class. This focus over here, whether it be jokes or stereotypes or flirtations, questioning judgment, just refusal of care, come out in small ways and in big ways. The case that you had to deal with was short comments made from a patient to a physician, and really commenting about another physician, the regular physician, if you will. I want to focus on a couple things. It looks like my highlighting is just staying in one place. This is very interesting. Okay, well, hopefully you can just bypass that. A big part of the article on page S35 here is, okay, how do clinicians, how do healthcare professionals respond to a bias? Certainly in an era where the idea is we're putting the patient at the center of care. They have rights as well. They need to be treated fairly and with respect. They're the ones who are in the most vulnerable situation, certainly compared to a clinician. I'm going to erase this. And so, but that response is still key. And so as you go through this article, you'll see different, perhaps, strategies or challenges to that response, or even sort of a framework over here. And some interesting examples as well. But it really, for the most part, comes almost always as a shock to healthcare professionals who, of course, are not expecting that type of behavior. They are going in almost with blinders on to take care of patients, some that they know, some that they don't know. And they're really going to find out what's the matter with you, as we've talked about, and not really expecting comments or bigotry or anything like that. Now, when those things occur, one of the things I wanted to highlight here, in fact, I wish I could highlight, but I'll try and highlight it over here, is trainees are particularly vulnerable to patient bias. Trainees meaning students or new employees. And that is really a challenge. It's a challenge also when I can probably click this in here. The individuals who are in leadership positions, supervisors, might not intervene at all, or might intervene in a way that the trainee, the new employee, doesn't consider appropriate. And that really then reinforces the behavior and makes it almost doubly hard to really sort of remove that. Okay, I'm going to have to erase this. I'm sorry about this. And so I think what I want to do, and this is I know a pretty short YouTube clip, is really have you focus on this article. We're going to revisit the case because the case is actually mentioned in here, embedded in here, since the authors are similar, and really go into it a little bit deeper as we talk about biases as it connects to personhood as well. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. And what I'd like you to do before I let you go here is go through this article and highlight probably the, again, the most important parts associated with the different sections here as we come to our discussion. Okay. All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.